Hi everyone,
Hello.
Victoria from Punchpass here, and I'm joined by Claire,
Hey, from Punchpass.
and
How's
also from Punchpass. Um, if you couldn't tell by our cool sweatshirts.
we are
Um,
matching today.
yeah. But what we're here to talk about today is a couple brainstorming ideas on how to get involved in your community, besides just by being a business. Like inherently, you're a local business, you're in your community, you exist, you're there, you're in the space, and that's awesome. But there's definitely a couple more ways to get involved and feel like you're kind of a vital and supportive member of your community, which is going to hopefully open up opportunities for you just from like a marketing perspective and a networking perspective, which, if you're a local business, it's things we want to explore and can definitely open some doors for you.
Absolutely. So we're looking at those things that feel like kind of organic win-wins, right? You're doing something not with the intention that you're going to get more clientele or like make millions of dollars, but at the same time, that's probably going to be a result of it. So,
Hmm.
staying in that sort of alignment of doing things because it's what you want to be doing and you feel like it's the right thing to be doing. But to be honest, it's probably going to end up being a good thing for your business as well.
Right. I mean, I think one of the most common ones is like partnering up with a business to do some kind of event. It's like a pop up class at their location instead of yours. You get to share it on both of your social media feeds. So your business becomes known by their business becomes known by your followers. Like one's like, I mean, classically, like doing them at like a brewery is very popular here in the US. It is very cool.
It's adopted, there's that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. There's like a cool plant terrarium shop here in Portland, and I see groups do like yoga with the plants,
That's
and then
cool.
different things to kind of just like connect with another business that feels like it's a good fit. If they're maybe they support similar kind of vibes as you, or you kind of just maybe you just like supporting their business and you're like, I like going here. And wouldn't it be cool if, their clientele heard about me and my business?
And I think what you do end up touching on there is the different clientele. And it's probably going to be a different group of people. It's not going to be people that are quite as maybe experienced with the type of thing you're teaching. So let's take yoga, for example. You might end up teaching a very mixed range of people, maybe people that haven't done a yoga class before. And in addition, you're in this challenging environment. Maybe you're in a plant store or, at a dog shelter or wherever you are. So you really need to do some forward planning, do some thinking ahead, and just think through and mitigate anything that can seem a little bit off. This is a lot of people's first impressions of you. So I think there's something to be said for really thinking it out, but also being quite upfront about it before you launch into those types of sessions and explaining that, this is not the normal environment. It's going to be a good time. Everyone's going to have fun, but it's maybe not going to be exactly the same experience they're going to get in your space, in your studio, in your gym, whatever it is. I think it's a really important part of the conversation. Generally, these types of events are a bit more lighthearted. So people
Yeah.
aren't going to go super duper deep into their yoga practice or something like that, or have a
Yeah.
revelation.
Yeah.
But
Probably not
super
breaking a
cool.
sweat too hard, it's
Right.
probably a little
Yeah.
chiller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of there's like spaces you can do that in is like connecting with a community center, school, a business that's like, hey, we have kind of this like corporate center here and a little bit of a hub, and maybe like, oh, during lunch we're gonna have this kind of opportunity. Those are ways you can connect. Libraries,
Absolutely.
yeah, there's a lot of different places. And I liked your point about like the adoption center for your pet rescues and stuff, because they're also like working with organizations and not so much um, another business, because it could also be having an event for an organization at your studio location. So
Yes.
we're like kind of switching and going like, oh, it's at your space, but maybe it's doing something that you don't normally do. Maybe it's even like a clothing drive, or just some, again, ways that you can get connected, things you can post on social, maybe and take a couple videos of what people are up to, and promoting it, and then connecting with some kind of local organization that way. Just way to
Absolutely.
connect.
I think one of the other things that's really important too, as excited as you are for the event and how many people show up, I think managing expectations about what's going to happen afterwards and sort of that return on investment, I guess, which is a very sort of businessy way to look at it. But I know I've taught events
Yeah,
before where I'm like, 6 people have come up afterwards and gone, "Oh my God, where's your studio? I love you. That was so great." And then crickets, they don't show up.
right.
So I think it's really important to manage your expectations. You can have a beautiful event, people can be really excited, especially if you've got some new people and you really feel like you've want to say converted them. It's not that serious, but they're excited. Maybe they've never tried yoga or they've never tried kickboxing or whatever it is, and they connected with you and they're excited to find out where your studio is and what to do next. But then quite often you won't hear from them or they won't show up to class the next week like they were intended to, and that's normal. I think a lot of business these days, especially in your local community, is just planting seeds. Letting people know that you're there,
Mm.
letting people know what you stand for, what type of classes you teach, what type of vibe you're putting out, and then they'll kind of come when they're ready. And at some point, we're going to talk in one of these future sessions about sort of nurturing your nervous students. And I think a lot of people are really challenged by showing up and trying something new, especially if they're going from a casual event in a plant store to showing up at a yoga studio for the first time. Like, oh my God, what do I do? I think that's a really important part of the process too, is you're going to have a good
Mm.
time and it's going to be fun, but don't expect it to sort of rocket your numbers through the roof immediately.
Yeah. But there's like a couple things you could do to try to nurture those leads. Like if you have something to hand out, like even like stickers or something nice, like could be kind of a way to like be like, here's a
Or a
little
free
extra. Or if,
class, like a free, come and try session can be really good.
yeah, discount code, something along
And
those
if you can
lines.
create that sense of, you need to come in within the
Mhm.
next week or two,
Yeah.
yeah, that can be a really cool move too.
Oh yeah, definitely get the discount code with the expiration date. Yeah.
Huge. So
Yeah.
big. It's such an unrecognized marketing tool, especially if you've got space in your studio too. And I think so many of these conversations for me are split into two parts: people that have room in their studio and people that don't have room in their studio. If you've got a big open
Mhm.
space, you can welcome anyone. Your promotions are easier than someone who's operating on a limited space where their regulars are coming along all the time and they don't have a lot of room literally to move. So that's
Yeah.
going to inform your decision making too.
Absolutely. But it's good to just like, connect with people in the community, connect with other businesses or organizations just because you want to start at the very least, it might be nice to lean on someone else or ask someone else who's not a direct competitor kind of thing. What's working for them? How are they out there? You might not have the exact same, clientele, but they're a small business owner maybe and they're working through similar challenges as you and it might just be nice to have the connection with somebody in your community that you can sort of, connect with or lean on and vice versa.
Yeah, and I think when you take on a new studio space or move into a new area, I would really encourage you to go and talk to your neighbors as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if it goes on for, I know you get busy, you're fitting out the new space, you're getting everything set up, and you can easily go 2, 3, 4, 5 months without, kind of taking the blinkers off and having a look around. But doing those introductions early is absolutely the way to go. Getting those people interested and involved and excited about what's going on. Their clientele is going to be asking them what's happening in the building next door. And if they can say, oh, yeah, that's Claire, she's setting up a yoga studio, it seems really nice. Like, yeah, really excited for it versus, oh, I don't know, like, I think yoga is something. Like, that's
Mm,
free
yeah.
advertising, that's free
Yeah.
marketing and it's genuine, it's a genuine sense
Yeah.
of connection. You're not doing it for marketing, you're doing it because it's nice to be connected to those people, especially if the roof starts leaking or, you don't know if you left the door unlocked and you went home or something like that. Those people can be really invaluable.
Yeah. It's kind of building your network of people you can lean on a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for joining me for this chat, Claire. I'm definitely starting to think about different ways, to get involved in the community, and it's fun to brainstorm together.
Absolutely. Love it.